Hello and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns, where we are, well, we were arrested by supposedly police, but Kluski's not a fucking police officer, he's a thug, and taken to the Telestrian mansion. McCluskey smirks. Want some advice, moron? Of course you don't. You're a Shadowrunner and you live by your own rules, don't you? I mean, I'll take your advice. I'll at least hear you. I suggest you keep your smart-ass remarks to yourself this time, Elf. Mr. Telestrian isn't some street meat you can impress or intimidate. He's the brains behind the throne of I gotta figure this out. Terngear? Terngyre? I feel like it's probably, well, if anything, it might be Celtic, and I don't know Celtic. Or Irish. Could be Irish, which is a language, if you weren't aware. Okay. Let's see. And he holds your leash, right, McCluskey? You his lapdog? His eyes say I'd love to kill you now, but his mouth continues its smirk. I got one of the richest and most powerful men in the Pacific Northwest taking care of me, dumbass. What do you got? Free will. You're dumber than I thought. Enjoy your chat. I'll dispose of your body later. Dude, if I was gonna die here, you wouldn't have driven me here. It's just not how it's gonna work. Alright, let's talk to Mr. Quoth. Look at that. Look at that dude. The fussy elf with the air of a Victorian butler studies you from your toes to the tips of your pointed ears before he speaks. Mr. Telestrian is expecting you. You'll find him in his office. This is an extraordinary estate. May I look around before I see him? You may wait here for a few moments to gather yourself before you enter Mr. Telestrian's office. Some people find they need time to prepare themselves before meeting an elf of his stature. However, the upstairs is off limits to you, and the library is occupied at the moment. Do not tarry, though. Mr. Telestrian is not one to be kept waiting long. Alright, that's kind of weird. Why are you letting me wait at all? Unless I need to prepare for something? I don't think I'm getting in a fight here. Oh. There's a twinkle in Algernon's eye that wasn't there when you spoke at the Seamstresses Union. It is good to see you again. There is much to do. You run in some pretty different circles, don't you, Algernon? I do not run at all, Alsomarda. I go where I am needed. I am needed here. Seek me out after you have spoken to James Telestrian. Perhaps I can be of service again. Alright. Oh. I figured he was... Why would you... Seems bizarre to have your office just off the foyer. Or foyer. God, now I'm doing it. I've said foyer for years, and then everybody else says foyer. And now I've started doing it, and it bothers me to no end. Okay, so I literally can't go up there. Okay. Well, there's not much else to do here, other than just go talk to him. I don't know why you even give me the option. Let's check out your gun safe. No? Alright. As you approach, James Celestrian. I don't know why they put his full name with the like the third, the numerical value in there. Like, it's just awkward to read. I guess it's more awkward because I'm, reading it out loud rather than reading it in text form. But as you approach, James Celestrian looks up from the computer screen built into the surface of his desk and assesses you. Calculating in cold, a practiced smile comes to his face. He vibes the kind of rich you don't get from Trivid. It's not the clothing or the trappings or the bow before your better's mansion. It's something else, the feeling that you're being categorized as resource or liability or a pawn. I have been reviewing the results of your visit to my Seattle office last night. I admit they are impressive. You've generated a considerable amount of damage to my office complex, killed or wounded many of my security personnel, and cost my vice president of security his job. In 24 hours, you have accumulated quite a bill with me, ma'am. How do you intend to settle your debt? Joke. Kind of a joke. Not a joke. Once my current etiquette is complete, I would be happy to discuss working off my debt to you, Mr. Telestrian. That discussion may happen one day, assuming the outcome of this conversation does not result in your immediate termination. And when is in my debt, they remain in my debt until such time that I decide that debt has been until such time that I decide that debt is repaid. There will be no negotiation on that point. However, you have one piece of information which you might use as a bargaining chip in the little time you have left to live. Why you took what you took. I am interested to know why you and your team of criminals fought your way through my security teams up to my private office to access the Matrix and uncover the location of a simple research project. I mean, frankly, dude, if you haven't connected the dots, to be fair, I think I talked about this some episodes ago. Like, I had to connect a bunch of dots that the game has not It's unclear whether Alice and company have figured out all of the connections, right? Like, it's never explicitly said as such. And it would be weird for them not to figure it out, seeing as it drives directly at their motivating, choices. But why Telestrian would not know? I mean, like, dude, it's incredibly suspicious that your, sister is, like, bound up in all of this. And, like, were you not suspicious the first time that this particular project got stolen, blown up, whatever? Fuck it, why not? I took the Aegis sample to kill giant insect spirits. I find your bluntness somehow refreshing. He touches a button on the desk. Mr. Quoth, please ask my daughter to join us. Daughter, okay. Oh, right, okay. So now I understand the connection better. This is the daughter, and then Lynn Telestrian is the aunt? Probably? Sister, aunt, The young, pretty elf has dark circles under her eyes and a haunted expression on her face. She recognizes you instantly. Marie-Louise Telestrian, as expected. It's you. You're the woman who helped me escape from the Universal Brotherhood. How did you get here? Telestrian cuts in quickly. Thank you, Marie-Louise. You have confirmed the identity of your rescuer and given me reason to forgive her for her trespasses against me. Okay, so why did this not come out before? And I don't just mean in the, like, writing, I mean in the world. There is no context unless I am playing a character and everybody else on my team is also dumb as rocks, that nobody would ask why this, elf girl is being held in the, facility, and nobody would ask her full name or why she was there. And we got a little bit of it, but not nearly enough. The reveal that she is a Telestrian should not be a reveal. It makes no sense. It doesn't serve to deepen the plot in any way. It's if you really wanted to make this a complex, interwoven, like intra-family fight of some kind, there are ways to add complexity there that aren't like arbitrarily not including her last name when we see her. Because that's the other thing. It's one thing if if these were voiced characters, because and I mean, we could get into a whole discussion about the problems with subtitles in voiced games and how subtitles can sometimes spoil aspects of the game because they tell you names or relationships or whatever early. But in that case, there would at least be like reason to say, well, I just never got her name. It never came up. We were in a fight, whatever. But when we're reading all the content, and by the UI design, they've decided to title every piece of dialogue with a full character's name, the fact that her last name is like uniquely absent really just goes to show that this is it's a nothing burger. There's no reason this is a reveal, and I'm genuinely kind of concerned what the next couple of lines are going to be and what the reaction options are going to be, because none of this should be a surprise. She looks hungry for your help. I'm glad you're here. You did well back there. Without you, we'd all be dead. She closes her eyes. Thank you, but I'm not sure that death wouldn't be better than this. I can't sleep at all. I'm afraid that this is a dream, and then I'll wake up and still be there with the bugs. You can relax, Maria Louise. You're safe. It's over. No, it won't be over until they're all dead. She shudders. You didn't see them. You don't understand. You and those men you flew in here. All you do is talk. It's just like you to form a committee, Father. I knew that someone had to take action. That's why I got Hakeem involved. The already cold exterior of James Telestrian turns to ice. I see. It was you and your crippled little friend who leaked Aegis to this woman. We will speak of it later, in private. Now then, Alice, there are people I wish you to meet. The committee my daughter alluded to. This is a rare opportunity for a woman of the streets such as yourself. I urge you to behave. We will adjourn to the library. I don't like any of these options. Sounds like I don't have much of a choice. Not if you wish to draw another breath, no. Well, this is a motley crew. There is a weight in Telestrian's library, a sense of magnitude and purpose. You are no longer in the presence of mere wealth. You are in the presence of history. Oh, cool. It just dismissed itself. It sure is good that I got the full chance to read all of that. Not like I could have, clicked the Xbox myself game. Come on. X button, rather. Xbox. Fucking Microsoft. All right, well... Lady and gentlemen, this is Alice Omarda. She is the elf who saved my daughter and the only one who has faced our common enemy in combat. Yeah, you're real dismissive for a guy who also seems to, somehow revere my skill. Herr Brachus, what does the representative of the great dragon Lofweir? Lofweir have to tell us about the magical insect this Shadowrunner uncovered. Braca speaks slowly with a deep, melodious German accent. He takes his time, accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. That's a lot of description that I don't think is entirely necessary. Maybe in a novel, not here. Not here where you're already skimping on some of the dialogue. My lord Lofweir has witnessed the insect spirit's physical manifestation before, roughly 9,000 years ago. As you are aware, magic ebbs and flows from the earth, cycling from peak to peak over the course of 5,200 years. As the level of magic grows... Hans, dear, I love you, but you could babble on forever, and I believe time is of the essence. The painted elf addresses you. Alice, is it? Delighted. The bug you fought was not merely a magical awakened animal like a wyvern or hydra or anything else in the sixth world. In fact, it isn't from this world at all. It's the physical embodiment of an insect spirit from another plane of existence. I believe that would explain why I wasn't able to damage it. The spirit itself is extraplanar. Algernon eyes you keenly. Bravo. That is precisely the idea. The insect spirit exists on both planes simultaneously. I have been impressed with you for some time, Alice. It is good that you are here. Now, an insect spirit can't simply thumb a ride through astral space and show up on Earth late for dinner. Dinner, in this case, being us. Two elements are required to bring one across the void: a shaman and a host. First, the spirit calls upon a shaman, often in dreams. The spirit seduces the shaman with promises of great power. The shaman then accepts the spirit as his totem. Next, the insect spirit requires a suitable host. The best candidates... This is very exposition heavy. It's, if you guys all knew this, why was nobody doing shit before me? The best candidates are the disaffected and the disenfranchised. In short, the weak-willed. Their minds are the most susceptible to suggestion, which is helpful in making the transformation. As you may imagine, these are the sort of people easily attracted to a cult, such as the Universal Brotherhood. Finally, by performing what has to be a truly disgusting ritual, the shaman serving the insect totem implants the spirit into the host, willingly or not. Then it's feeding time. Is that literally her name? His name? Their name? Harlia Quinn? Harlia Quinn is correct. The insect spirit will then slowly consume its host while transforming it into the spirit's own insectoid body, thus manifesting itself fully on this plane. That one's funny. Don't like the sound of this. You shouldn't. It's bad. Really bad. The initial bugs prepare a nest for the summoning of a queen. Once the nest has its queen, she literally explodes with newly manifested insect spirits. They swarm out of the nest, feasting on all the flesh they can find, and implanting more insect spirits into the fresh corpses. Again and again and again. The room falls silent as they consider the scenario, faces grim. Telestrian breaks the silence. Yeah, guys, listen, I'm some schlub, Shadowrunner, relative novice, who was hired by a friend to find out why he died. I'm real confused how I ended up here and why, if you guys know all this, fuck all's been done. Like if you don't tell me that I'm somehow special, even if it's in a really dumb way, there's going to be no reasonable explanation for this. If you're like, oh, we had all the right stuff, we just hadn't done it yet, so here's the tools you need, that's some garbage. This is not an infestation, Alice Omarda. It is an invasion. My Lord Lofweir knew this day would come, but he did not know precisely when nor where. Your rescue of Mr. Telestrian's daughter has exposed the existence of an insect spirit for the first time in this cycle of the world. So you're early to the party this time. That gives you the upper hand, right? We are not early. We merely have experience on our side. The insect spirit is only a resident of the transformed host's body. Conventional weapons can hurt the body and expose the spirit, but the spirit itself cannot be destroyed by mundane means. Hence, Project Aegis. Herr Telestrian's biotechnology and agricultural divisions worked with my Lord Lofweir's thaumaturgical engineers and designed Project Aegis to destroy an insect spirit once it is released from its host. The formula, a fluorescing astral bacterial strain, exists on the physical and astral plane at once and can thus affect the insect spirit. Now that was a mouthful. Did you memorize it, or are you reading it off index cards? I love how nobody is acknowledging them. My director of R&D, Diane Ravenwood, will explain how Project Aegis will be used in the field. Dr. Ravenwood? Our weapons specialists have rapidly prototyped a delivery device for the fluorescing astrobacterial strain. They've created some prototype launchers which fire Aegis-filled shells. When fired, the shells will discharge a high-velocity stream of the bacteria. Hold on. It's a bacteria and it needs to be a high-velocity stream? It's not like an infection thing? Is this just so that they can get away with the gameplay reason why it's basically just bullets? But then, there's no reason why they couldn't do... Okay. Speculatively, here's what happens. We're given a special gun, and we have to shoot it with the special gun many times. That does not, to me, make any sense in conjunction with the idea of it being an astral bacteria. If you want me to shoot it, wouldn't it make more sense to have it be a okay, I gotta kill the host, and then when it's in its other form, I have to inject it or spray it or do something else, and then wait for the bacteria to take over? Presumably, if it doesn't kill it immediately, it's a bacteria. It propagates, at least in theory. Otherwise, why would you call this a bacteria? Why wouldn't you make it a astral projection gun or something like that fires special bullets that are able to pierce the veil of the world? Why bacteria if you're about to do what I think you're about to do? In order to destroy one of the bugs, it must first be damaged using conventional weaponry or magic until the spirit is released from the host body. Then the insect spirit must be shot with the Project Aegis prototype launcher to destroy it. Okay, is it only once? I mean, it's still why is it a projectile? Why is it a gun? And not just an infection spray of some kind? These are pretty funny. So in order to stop an invasion of insects from another dimension, a dragon and an elf co-created a magical insecticide. Crudely put, but accurate. We must stop the Universal Brotherhood from summoning a queen, and we must stop them immediately. You are the only one who has been inside their facility, and the only one who has personally fought these creatures before. That, along with your highly effective assault upon my property, indicates that you are the ideal person to lead the attack. Glad you're convinced, 'cause I'm not. No one's ever used this magic bug juice before. The painted elf grins. His red lipstick catches the light. We're forgoing the clinical trials in favor of field testing the formula. I like him. Come on, kid. When fate taps you on the shoulder, you've got to pay attention. Unfortunately, she has the nasty habit of tapping you on the opposite shoulder, so that when you turn around, she's on your other side, giggling like a deranged schoolgirl. I hate that. Enough. Are you willing to undergo this mission, Alice? I assume I can't actually reject the the call to adventure, to use the literary terminology. Otherwise, the game would just end, right? Right? Fuck you, pay me. I'm a professional, and professionals get paid for their work. I assume that serving all mankind involves compensation. Of course. Here is my proposal. If you prevent the queen from being summoned and destroy the insects on the next, 1 million nuyen will be divided by the surviving team members. Come on, Mr. Telestrian, stretch those philanthropic muscles of yours and toss a little more money into the shadows. How much is this plane of existence worth to you? Do not overplay your hand, ma'am. You could still be arrested for the attack on my office, and if my sources are correct, the justifiable but illegal death of Dr. Holmes. Alternately, I could simply eliminate you and find one of the mercenaries you hired to play your part. I have position, Mr. Telestrian. You need to know that Aegis works before more queens arrive. Surely it's worth 1.5 million for a field test? Done. Not that it's going to matter. The game will end. He claps his hands as if seeing the circus for the first time. I love the way that the short-lived are willing to die even faster. It's very inspirational. Brachus raises his hand, and Harlequin's clapping instantly stops. There is one final note. A warning, if you will. You have seen the danger the insects represent, but you have not witnessed the shaman's power. The shaman must tap into a powerful source of magic in order to summon a queen. We do not know what abilities that power source will grant. Beware of the insects, but do not underestimate the shaman. Okay, I got to talk about something for a second. The direct writing of accents is a pet peeve of mine. You can do it. It is not universally a bad idea. But if you do it, you have to do it. This random couple of extra letters or swapped letters to imply his German accent is lazy and badly executed. If you want him to have a German accent, you can absolutely get away with telling me he has a thick German accent. In fact, you did. And then just write it normally. Or you can go full bore and write the, direct sort of phonetic pronunciation that he's using. But this random, there's F's instead of a VE, there's another S, and that's it. It's bad. It's just bad. Hey, don't scare the kid, Hansel. We still need her to go on the mission. By the by, I'm coming with you, Alice. I wouldn't mind seeing these creatures for myself. I missed them last time. Telestrian will bankroll you, so you can hire the rest of the team. I am very eager to see what Harlequin is all about. He seems like a chill dude. Somebody I would like to have a beer with. Find me when you're ready to go, and we'll bug right out of here. Aha! I see what you did. Aha! Funny. Good stuff. He sighs. Yes, speak with Harlequin when you are ready to depart. If you wish to acquire additional supplies for your mission, find my assistant, Quoth. He is highly resourceful. Alright, well, I've got some options. I've basically got the option to gear up, but I think we'll do that in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching more of this. If you've played this before or are enjoying it or whatever, let me know your thoughts. This is it's getting weird. It's getting weird. See you guys next time.